After 42 years of marriage, Mr. William Richardson thought he knew his wife's body inside out. But one evening, she turned to him and said, "Love, you don't have to do that anymore." That single moment changed everything for them. And by the end of tonight, I'm going to show you exactly what he learnt that brought the spark back into their bedroom after all those years. I'm Dr. Amelia Wright. I've been a sexual health researcher for over 25 years, and I've counseled thousands of couples right here in the UK. Tonight, I'm sharing something most men get completely wrong about oral pleasure. And frankly, it's not your fault. Nobody teaches this properly. But the female body is honest. It tells you everything you need to know if you're willing to listen. Most blokes think they're doing it right. They go straight for the clitoris, licking away like they're trying to win a race. But that's precisely the problem. You're treating it like a job to finish, not an experience to savor. And your partner? She's probably lying there, feeling uncomfortable, maybe even in pain, but she won't say anything because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. Here's what you need to understand. There's a secret switch in the female anatomy that, when activated properly, creates what I call the waterfall effect. And no, it's not just the clitoris. Surprised? Most men are. Because if you only focus on that one spot, you're missing the entire landscape. It's like trying to climb to the top floor of a building by jumping straight to the roof. You've got to take the stairs, mate. Start from the ground floor and work your way up, slowly, deliberately. Tonight, I'm going to teach you 3 things. Just 3. But these 3 elements will completely transform the way you pleasure your partner. They are rhythm, sequence, and pause. That's it. If you master these 3, even if you're in your 60s, 70s or beyond, you'll be the man she remembers. Not because you're some sort of technician, but because you've learnt to combine technique with genuine feeling. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. I know everyone says that, but here's why it matters. This channel is dedicated to helping couples over 60 maintain deep, meaningful intimacy. There's so much rubbish out there, and I want to cut through it with proper research-backed advice. Right, let's get started. I've been studying sexual health for more than a quarter of a century. I've worked with couples from Birmingham to Edinburgh, from Manchester to Cornwall. And I'll tell you something I've noticed time and time again. Oral stimulation is one of the most powerful forms of intimacy you can share with your partner. When done correctly, it creates pleasure beyond belief. But when done poorly, it can actually push your partner further away. Let me share a story with you. Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, a lovely couple from Surrey, came to see me a few years back. They'd been married for 44 years. Mr. Thompson, bless him, had been trying his best to please his wife orally. He genuinely loved her and wanted to make her happy. But every time he tried, she'd go quiet, turn her head away. He thought she just didn't enjoy it anymore. Turns out the poor bloke was using his teeth, actually gripping the clitoris and sucking hard, like he was using a hoover. Can you imagine? The thing is, he thought that's what you were meant to do. Nobody had ever told him otherwise. So here's the crucial question. Where does pleasure actually originate in the female anatomy? You'd think it's the clitoris, right? Well, yes and no. The clitoris is important, absolutely, but the real magic happens in the area surrounding it. The clitoral legs, specifically. These extend beneath the surface, creating a soft, sensitive region that, when stimulated correctly, sends waves of sensation through the entire pelvic area. Most men make the mistake of jabbing at it with the tip of the tongue or sucking aggressively. That's not stimulation, that's irritation. What you need is gentle pressure, a rhythmic motion of pulling and pushing with the flat of your tongue combined with your breath. A natural, uninterrupted rhythm. When you get this right, her pelvis will start to move in time with you. She'll relax. She'll flow. That's when the door to genuine pleasure opens, accompanied by a warm, safe feeling. Even if she doesn't say anything out loud, you'll know the moment her heart opens to you. To achieve this, you need warmth in your breath, not cold air. You need subtle density in your touch. And most importantly, you need to watch her body's reactions. Her muscles, her breathing, the way she moves. This isn't just technique, folks. This is medicine for the relationship. And I'm about to give you the prescription in detail. Let's get specific. Most men who say they're good at oral sex aim straight for the clitoris. That's like trying to climb a building by jumping straight to the roof, as I said earlier. If you truly want to bring pleasure, you've got to start from the ground floor and take the stairs, slowly, methodically. Step 1. The outer labia. Think of this as an embrace from the outside. Kiss them gently. This area is relatively resilient to touch, but psychologically, this is where relaxation begins. Use your lips, not your tongue. Slowly, softly, as if you're whispering, "I love you, come closer." Watch for changes in her breathing. That's your signal. Step 2. The transition area between the outer labia and the clitoris. This is a soft border region with extremely sensitive nerves. If you're too aggressive here, if you use a pointed tongue, it can hurt. Instead, use the side of your tongue. Move slowly with a broad surface, not just the tip. It's vital that you stroke with the tongue, not jab. This is rhythm, not speed. When her pelvis gives a little twitch, you've got it right. Step 3. The sides of the clitoris. Not the center. The nerve branches of the clitoris extend here. When you stimulate this area, she'll unconsciously arch her back. More than 70% of women respond more intensely to rhythmic movement on the sides rather than direct pressure on the center. Most blokes get this completely wrong because they think bigger pressure equals bigger pleasure. It doesn't. Step 4. The peak of stimulation. This is about sustained breath rhythm, not just sucking. It's a slow inhalation that transmits warm air. The female body responds to both touch and temperature. When tongue and breath work together, her pelvic muscles will contract reflexively. That's the first wave. You'll feel it. And here's the bit most men miss. The pause. Never forget the pause. Men make the mistake of continuous stimulation, thinking more is better. But when you pause, her nervous system registers the stimulation as gone, and it prepares a stronger response. When you slowly begin again, that's when she experiences the explosive pleasure, the waterfall effect. The main point isn't just technique. It's 3 things working together: rhythm, sequence, pause. That's the key. Only the man who understands this can make a woman's body sing. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Does this actually work? Let me share some real examples of couples I've worked with. Mr. William Richardson, 70 years old, married for over 40 years. He still loved his wife deeply, but physical intimacy had become difficult. One day, his wife said casually, "Love, you don't have to do that anymore." In that moment, William stopped. He thought he was doing it for her, but perhaps his method was wrong. He changed his approach entirely. Instead of sucking on the clitoris, he kissed slowly downward from her navel, from the outer labia to the tongue's edge, with gentle pressure and rhythm. To his amazement, his wife gripped his shoulders tightly. Her entire body trembled. That night, for the first time in years, she felt that sensation again. She told him, "It's just like it used to be." Then there's Mr. James Patterson, 67, from Leeds. He'd tried everything. He thought he was doing oral correctly. But every time his wife seemed tense. He'd lick quickly, thrust his tongue deep. The result was only silence. I gave him one piece of advice. Close your mouth and let your breath do the work. Don't touch the clitoris directly with your tongue. Instead, circle around it slowly. Press gently with your lips and breathe warmth onto her. Suddenly, his wife spread her legs wider. Her thighs began to shake. James realized it wasn't stimulation that mattered most. It was waiting and breathing. That was the real key. And Mr. Robert Davies, 73, from Wales. He wondered what intimacy looked like in later years. After his wife's menopause, her skin became more sensitive, and she avoided sexual contact altogether. When it got worse, he started focusing on foreplay. He gently rubbed the insides of her thighs, the pubic area, with his lips. He pressed just once on the clitoris and held his tongue there for 5 seconds. In those brief 5 seconds, his wife began to cry. It was the first time in ages she'd felt anything like that. The common thread among all 3 men. They stopped trying to stimulate harder with their mouths. Instead, they went slower, waited longer, and let feeling flow through touch and presence. Reading your partner's response, rather than trying to lead it, is what matters. If you're watching this video right now, you're a man who can open her body and heart again. It's not about youth, it's about depth of feeling. Let me summarize everything for you. The female body opens when you touch it with your mouth, not through aggressive stimulation, but through the way you wait. Men often just lick and suck, expecting a reaction. But genuine pleasure comes from slow rhythm and deep emotion. The first thing you need to change is speed. Never act quickly with your mouth. When approaching, lips come before tongue, followed by breath. A warm stream of air, not hot, awakens her nervous system. Then sequence matters. Don't go straight to the clitoris. Inner thighs, outer labia, edge of the labia, clitoris. Remember the order of touch points, and most importantly, the pause. When you stop, her body prepares for pleasure. The practical advice is simple. Press with your lips as if you're rubbing. Maintain a rhythmic cycle. Breathe steadily and continuously. The clitoris is the last destination, not the first. If you do these 4 things, even if you're over 60, you'll be the man women remember. Intimacy doesn't end as you get older. Sure, sometimes your body doesn't feel in sync, but your heart for the person you love runs deeper and stronger than any young man's. Many men say, "What's the point of learning something new at my age?" But that's precisely when it begins. The day you learn a new feeling is the greatest day of your life, because it can be a turning point. Women are honest. When body and mind open simultaneously, the relationship comes alive again. Longing for each other returns. Whether it's sex or foreplay, it's all in your hands. Physical contact or not, after watching this video tonight, you're the man with that understanding. Practice slowly with your loved one tonight. Watch her expression, how her body trembles. The warmth in your hands will tell you everything. Now, I want to address something important. I know some of you might be thinking, this all sounds very technical, a bit mechanical even. And you're right to think that. One of the comments I saw on a similar video really stuck with me. A woman said, "I want the man who loves me, not a technician." That resonated deeply because she's absolutely right. Here's the thing, technique without emotion is empty. It's the difference between cooking a meal because you have to and cooking a meal because you want to nourish someone you love. The mechanics I've described tonight, the steps, the rhythm, the sequence, they're not meant to turn you into some sort of robot. They're meant to give you a framework so you can be more present with your partner, not less. When you understand what you're doing and why, you can relax. You can stop worrying about whether you're doing it right and start actually feeling the connection between you. You can read her responses not because you're following a checklist, but because you're genuinely attuned to her. Think about it like learning to dance. At first, you're counting steps, watching your feet, trying not to trip over. But once you've got the basics down, you stop thinking about the steps. You start feeling the music. You start moving with your partner, responding to her, leading and following in equal measure. That's what this is about. The technique gives you confidence. The confidence allows you to be present. And presence is what creates intimacy. So yes, learn the steps. Understand the anatomy. Know where to touch and how. But don't forget why you're doing it. You're doing it because you love her. Because after all these years, you still want to bring her pleasure. Because intimacy matters, and it doesn't stop mattering just because you've got a few more candles on your birthday cake. Right, before I wrap up, I want to share one more thing. A lot of the advice out there focuses solely on what men should do for women. And that's important, don't get me wrong, but intimacy is a two-way street. In my next video, I'll be addressing something that doesn't get talked about enough. What women can do to enhance their partner's pleasure, and how couples can communicate better about their needs in the bedroom. Because frankly, if we're going to talk about equality in every other aspect of life, we need to talk about it here too. Fair's fair. Both partners deserve to feel desired, appreciated, and satisfied. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you're subscribed, because that next one's going to be just as valuable. And ladies, if you're watching, I hope you'll share your thoughts as well. Communication truly is the key. Tell your partner what feels good. Don't suffer in silence. Create that safe space where both of you can be honest about your needs and desires. I also want to say this. If you're watching this and you're thinking, blimey, I've been getting it wrong for decades, don't beat yourself up about it. Honestly, nobody teaches this stuff properly. There's no manual that comes with relationships. Most of what we know, we've cobbled together from dodgy magazine articles, whispered conversations with mates down the pub, and trial and error, mostly error. The fact that you're here, watching this, trying to learn, trying to be better for your partner, that says everything about your character. You're not a failure. You're someone who cares enough to improve. And that, in itself, is incredibly valuable. So tonight, or whenever the moment feels right, take what you've learnt here and approach your partner with tenderness, with patience, and most of all, with love. Don't make it a performance. Don't put pressure on yourself or her. Just be present, be gentle, and pay attention. You might be surprised at what happens. You might find that connection you thought you'd lost. You might discover that the spark isn't gone at all. It was just waiting for you to fan the flames a bit differently. Intimacy in later life is one of the most beautiful things in the world. You've got decades of trust, of shared experiences, of knowing each other inside out. Use that foundation. Build on it. Don't let anyone tell you that passion is only for the young. That's complete rubbish. Some of the most deeply connected couples I've worked with have been in their 70s and 80s. Age doesn't diminish desire. It deepens it, makes it richer, more meaningful. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, after you've finished watching this, have a conversation with your partner. Not necessarily about everything we've discussed here, but just check in with her. Ask how she's feeling. Tell her you love her. Remind her why you're still together after all these years. And if the moment's right, if she's receptive, show her what you've learnt. Not as a technique to impress, but as a gift of love. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. If you found this helpful, please do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications as well so you don't miss the next video, where we'll be exploring the other side of this conversation. Share this with someone who might benefit from it, though perhaps do it discreetly. Nobody wants their mates knowing they're watching videos about oral sex, do they? This channel is all about helping couples over 60 maintain deep, meaningful intimacy right through to the end. We're going to keep having these honest, practical conversations that nobody else seems willing to have. Because you deserve it. Your relationship deserves it. Stay healthy, stay happy, and remember, the warmth in your touch will tell you everything you need to know. Until next time, this is Dr. Amelia Wright. Cheerio.